Well, Senior Road Tax are our next race out on track, so let's get straight to the action. Here are the grid positions with Jake Sanson.
And with it being Senior Road Tax, we know this is going to be a good race, whatever happens. Louis Harvey and Kian Sang on the front row of the grid from Lorenzo Cordell and Jamie Rogers. Tristan Rennie and Jensen Watts from Alex Baker and Tom Wood. Caden McQueen and Ben Doughty rounding out the top 10. See, I told you it was going to be an exciting one. On the sixth row of the grid, Amelia Nelson and Louis Weaver. Then Lily and Harrison, Edmonds and John Knox from James Otto and Alex Moody. George Hunter and Chris Miller rounding out the top 20. Further back, there's even more firepower under their right foot. Lucas Ellingham and Scott Dunsmore from Walsh and Wild. Sam Hawthorne and Les Taylor, Napier, Duthie, Briley and Jex. And then we have Andrew Hughes and Daniel Hughes from Sam Light and Callum Kinder. Ready? Let's go racing! Up to the first corner. And it's a great start from Kian Sang. Sang has actually made the jump on Louis Harvey. It's not the first time today that we've seen the driver starting P2, getting the jump on the leader. There is Louis Weaver in front of us as we ride on board with Finn Harrison. And he's gone off! Oh my goodness! Straight off at the fastest corner on the circuit.
Louis Weaver exits stage left, as you say, Jake, a really fast corner, blind turn in. Watch out for Lucas Ellingham in this one, started P21. We know he's got a lot of quality. We saw him spin off. I think his dad said he was smashed off at Wardenlaw. Not sure he was smashed off exactly, but he did come back to 11th. Unnoticed by us, Jake, the commentators.
Absolutely. Well, there's a change for third position by the look of it, as up the inside goes Jamie Rogers. He gets the run on Lorenzo Cordell, tightens things up with Watson Rennie behind. You just saw there a few seconds back that Louis Weaver has got going again, is up on the inside. Oh my goodness, it's nearly 3 wide as diving through Jensen Watts picks them all off. He's up into third position. Rennie and McQueen don't really know what have hit them on that particular move. Jensen Watts found the smallest gap in history on the fastest corner on the track.
I think Jamie Rogers, as he dropped down to, is that 7th place?
I think you're right, yes it is.
In third.
Yeah, it is 7th place, because that was Lorenzo Cordell getting himself slotted into P6. So Jamie Rogers was the real loser in that particular move. McQueen zips up the inside in the zip car and moves up into 4th position, taking it. Now, something happened behind them. Let's have a look as the leaders come through. Oh, that's what happened.
Baker and Wood.
Oh, that was a nasty one. And let's have another look at it. They've come through together. There's the move from McQueen on the inside. And watch as these two cuts lock. Wheels collide with each other.
Look at the radiator.
Yeah, he's absolutely boshed Alex Baker's radiator. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to keep going from that, because that was a big hit. As we ride on board with Finley Harrison, Caden McQueen has the fastest lap of the race. As we go down the hill and up on the inside, that's Amelia Nelson and Jack Lilly getting through on the inside. Really good to see Amelia and Jack really starting to take some plaudits out there. They're making massive inroads in UKC Senior Road Tax, and they're getting closer and closer to the podium. Now, the battle is joined at the front end of the field. Kev, you're obviously keeping an eye on the action. What have you spotted?
So here we are then in the 4th minute of this one. It's really exciting watching trackside, because I've just had my eyes locked on Caden McQueen, who is obviously the class of the field as far as the last round is concerned. His driving skills, well, they need no introduction, but he was starting in 9th on the grid for this one, but already in the opening few laps he's got himself up to 3rd place. This one has a lot to run, and I am keen to see how far Caden can go by the time that we get to the checkered flag.
That's a very good point, Kev, but obviously Kian Sang is leading by nearly a second over Louis Harvey, and Harvey is going to be the first driver that Caden McQueen's got to pass before he even thinks about the lead. And let's be fair, Louis Harvey versus Caden McQueen, that's going to be an interesting battle, as battling for position, that is the Jack Dex Racing Machine. Just in behind Finley Harrison, that's Lucas Ellingham moving his way up past John Knox, we saw. And so, great battle further back as well. That's Stephen Napier battling away with Charlie Walsh and Tommy Edmonds as they go through turn 1, absolutely on the lock stops.
We did say keep an eye on Lucas Ellingham, starting P21. He's already now up to P12, so he is definitely on the move.
There's a lot of great drivers in Senior Road Tax these days. This is really the who's who of British karting at senior level in the UKC. Ellingham dives in on the inside. Such a hard overtaking move in the second part of the compression complex. You've really got to know that you've got grip to come back at you as you come off the apex. That was wonderful from Lucas Ellingham. Dives in, full of conviction, no hesitation, makes the move stick. That's really nice. Now up the hill once again. Another new fastest lap from the race leader, Kian Sang, and the gap has opened up massively for Sang. He's now 1.7 ahead of Louis Harvey, with Caden McQueen closing right up. Ellingham goes again, at this time on the inside of Amelia Nelson. watched on by our cameraman Finley Harrison. But what a great move from Lucas Ellingham. He just picks them off one by one like raisins. And now Finley Harrison is going to line up his own move on Amelia Nelson.
Looking out for Les Taylor as well. He started P26, Jake. He's up to 16th, so see, he's up 10. Stephen Napier's on the move as well. He's currently there in 18th place. He's making moves.
Harrison gets the move on Nelson, but on the exit he runs wide. And there's going to be an opportunity here for John Knox and for Chris Miller. Just a little bit eager from Harrison. He just shuts the door in time before Miller gets through. And that's so easily done. You get the move in the final turn, you drift just the slightest bit wide onto the curb, and you just open the door for yourself again. McQueen's got past Harvey. Now, we didn't see it, but he's got through into second place now. So Caden McQueen has managed to get the move on the Argenti Motorsport of Louis Harvey, and he's got 2 seconds to make up on Kian Tsang with 7 minutes 40 on the clock. That's plenty of time.
Andrew Hughes started, I think, P31, Jake, something like that, and he's up to 21, so he's made up 10 places as well. Further back, there's battles all the way through the field, not least towards the back end.
So you've got 12 karts, still covered by 10 seconds, and when you consider the first and second are covered by 2, that's impressive. Up the inside, nice manoeuvre from Jamie Rogers. He finally gets his man as he goes for Jensen Watts. That's up to P4, and Finley Harrison watches as Les Taylor darts through Amelia Nelson. Finley Harrison picks it up as well. Thank you very much for that. I'll take the overtaking move there as well. As we watch the battles in position, that is the zip kart of the 36 Jensen Watts all over the back of Jamie Rogers as they duel away for position.
So Les Taylor, again, as said before, started P26, so he's now 14th, Les Taylor, as we saw that overtake from the 360-degree onboard camera. So Taylor definitely on the move.
He's now 13th, having made that move on Harrison and Nelson. We're back on board with Harrison. Now, who's that going slowly? That's Ben Doughty. Has he had an off? Oh, he certainly nearly had one there, because Finn Harrison nearly nerfed him off the road. Getting very close here at GYG. Well, that loss of momentum for Ben Doughty really has cost him dear. He's dropped behind Alex Moody now to 18th place. That cost him about 6 seconds. So that's cost him a massive amount of places. This is that battle for 17th. We're watching Moody. And in front of him now, Ben Doughty has recovered and made up another place with Charlie Walsh in the mix there as well. Louis Weaver, by the way, the man who hit the barriers on the first lap, he is now pulled out of the race. He has brought the kart back into the pits. Clearly a little bit too much damage to get to the end. Now, 4th position. How about this for a squabble? Rogers, Watts, Rennie. And any one of these 3 could end up on the podium if something happens to the guys up front. So they've got to stay hungry. As up the inside of John Knox, Finn Harrison gets another sweet overtake of the spoon.
Harrison delivering some great onboard action. Might be getting that onboard camera next time from Stu Stratton. Stuart does like the drivers that deliver action, and Finley delivering it for us this weekend in this one. He's in where went through the line last time in 13th place. May have made another place up there, so it could be up to 12th.
So as they battle for 4th position, there's a long gap back to Lorenzo Cordell, who's got Jack Lilly right on his tail. And then you've got Ellingham in 9th ahead of Miller, Taylor, Harrison, John Knox, James Otto, Stephen Napier, Nelson, Doughty, Walsh, Moody and Andrew Hughes, who is still charging through the field. And there's the move on the inside line from Stephen Napier. That was brave on James Otto. On the fastest corner on the circuit, you've really got to have some stones to send that one up the inside in the right-hand apex. It changes camber during the fastest corner on the circuit. That is bravery. And from Stephen Napier, he really flexes his muscles on the inside line.
So Taylor, we've got Taylor on the move. He's trying to become the driver in the field that makes up the most places. Ellingham's still moving. Stephen Napier. There's plenty of places being made from drivers at the back of the field. But as we've said before, 68 drivers started this championship in senior Rotax. So just making the final is difficult. That's a battle for 15th. More places being made up. But if you carry on the way we're going, it's going to be interesting to see the championship points at the end of the season. If you remember last time, Louis Harvey didn't have the best of rounds at Ward Law, but still went out of the round in 2nd place. But he had the onboard camera on that day. He just seemed to be going backwards most of the time.
That's very true. As we go up towards the last lap, great to see how frenetic it's been. And you were talking earlier about how many drivers can break into the final with such a competitive field. There have been a few drivers in the field who have broken into a final for the first time. Certainly Dylan Brierley, who is a notable club racer, he is mixing it up there in the top 25 with the likes of Hunter, Baker and Duthie. Up on the inside, Finley Harrison gets his move on the inside of Chris Miller in a very competitive field, and surprise from Kian Tsang, he's led the race. McQueen has not been able to catch him at all. Tsang will take the checkered flag. That's what it means to him. McQueen has done his best, and on this occasion he's got to settle for P2. Harvey is going to come through for third, and it's going to be Rogers. He has snatched fourth position from Rennie on the last lap.
That's a good comeback.